Barcelona have just beaten Cadiz 4-0 at the Estadio Nuevo Mirandilla, and that was not the big news of the day. Two people in the Cadiz stands, ended up getting heart attacks and fainting. One was an old lady and needed a lot of treatment in around the 80th minute of the game, and one was a cameraman for La Liga who also ended up fainting. Both of them are in the hospital and one of them is resting, and really obviously the best wishes for both of them and a speedy recovery. But that was the main incident of the game, and as always, health is the priority in these games over entertainment. Now moving on to the actual game, we played Cadiz at the Estadio Nuevo Mirandilla and we won 4-0. Our starting 11 was Ter Stegen, Piqué and Araujo, Balde, Bellerin, Gavi, De Jong and Busquets, and Ferran, Depay and Rafinha. We absolutely dominated Cadiz as ever, 71% possession to their 29% possession, 16 shots to their 8, and 13 fouls to their 12. A really dominant performance from Barcelona. In terms of our other stats for today, we had 6 corners to their 5, 564 passes to their 217, and a 3.33 expected goals to their 1.29. This was a pretty dominant performance from Barcelona. In the first half, we really did struggle, but as the game went on, we really did get more control, especially with the changes we made around the 60th minute in the second half. In terms of our stats, this puts us first in La Liga, of course unbeaten, but the big news was the fact that Lewandowski was able to score once again and get an assist. That's 9 goals for him, and a pretty dominant performance from him once again. We, of course, won our last game 5-1, and we continued our winning streak. And talking about our winning streak, we have to continue it in our next game, which is against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. In this game, everything that we've done so far this season, and of course in the preseason, will all come under test. And then after that, we have Elche, which will be similar to Cadiz in the sense that they'll be a difficult team to break down, and they have a few weapons up front and in defense to really unlock our team as well. Then we have Mallorca, who are a difficult team to face. And really after Bayern, we're going to have to face a series of teams that are really trying to just stay up in La Liga. And that will pose a different kind of test, which Barcelona have been struggling with in recent years. In terms of our substitutions for today, Depay did start, and he was substituted for Lewandowski. Ferran Torres was substituted for Ousmane Dembele. Gavi was substituted for Pedri. Rafinha was substituted for Ansu Fati. In terms of our match ratings for today, Ter Stegen deserved a 6. I feel like he didn't have much to do today, but as ever, he was pretty good in terms of playing the ball from the back. In terms of our back 4, Balde deserves an 8, arguably even a 9. Just really good defensively, which is something I didn't really expect from him because his profile was completely as an attacking left back. In terms of our defense, Piqué and Araujo look really solid. I think Piqué against teams that have a pretty low block and just not that much speed, he is a pretty decent player. The problem with Piqué has always been against teams that do have a lot of attacking threat, which is exactly why he would have been a very unreliable option in the Champions League. But for games where we really need to rest and rotate, he is a great option. Araujo, as usual, was really solid in the game as well, made a few really good recoveries, and just amazing as ever. I think Bellerin was a little bit of a surprise. I didn't think he would start the game, but he ended up performing really well as well. He deserves an 8, and considering he's had no preseason and has been without any football since the Copa del Rey final with Betis, it was a really solid performance from him. He also really did the goal. He also did the pass that led to the goal that Frenkie de Jong scored, so he was pretty crucial in that sense. But just a really good performance from Bellerin. In terms of our midfield 3, Busquets was solid as ever. And I mean, what makes Busquets best is when he plays a really simple game, and he did that today. So a really good performance from Busquets. And Gavi was amazing as ever. So many really good runs into the box, and he also made a lot of really good runs on the left and right hand side of the field, where people just ended up passing random passes to him. He was superb in that sense. And Frenkie de Jong has done something today that I really didn't expect from him, which was to make runs into the box. I think this was one aspect of the game that Xavi has been trying to improve since day one, and he showed that today, so really good from Frenkie de Jong as well. And then our front 3 of Ferran, Depay, and Rafinha, 2 of them were really disappointing in Ferran and Depay. Ferran Torres, I'm sort of just fed up with him, but I'm also trying to be patient because I know a lot of fans want us to be patient when it comes to certain players, and I think that Ferran does deserve a little bit of patience, but his performances have just been terrible. today he once again showed that he has absolutely nothing up front. He did just about 1 or 2 dribbles that I thought, okay, there's some promise in that. But other than that, really disappointing from Ferran Torres once again. And to be honest, it's not just the performances, it's the fact that he complains after other players are missing chances when he misses chances time and time and time again. So he really has to improve if he has any spot in this team. Depay similarly was pretty disappointing. Not as bad as Ferran Torres, but I just felt like he missed 2 pretty decent chances and was disappointing overall. Rafinha was the only bright spot in the attacking starting 11 because made a lot of really good dribbles, had a huge part in that first goal that Barcelona scored. Just really good from Rafinha. In terms of the big takeaways from a lot of the creators today, of course, the most important one was the one from Talk FCB. He said an important win today for Barca, but of course, all our thoughts are with the spectator, praying they make a full recovery. Absolutely, this is the most important thing, and this was huge. The fact that these fans ended up getting some consciousness, and both of them are finally ready, but they're still in the hospital, which is the only big problem. The other thing is the fact that in the first half, Xavi did say this, in the first half we didn't generate as much as we expected. In these games, the key is to open the can. We need to understand the last pass, but in general, we are happy despite not having an excellent match. I think once again, this is pretty crucial. We didn't generate nearly as much as we expected in the first half. It was pretty average from Barcelona, to be honest, and Cadiz played a good game. But in the second half, when we brought on players like Pedri, Lewandowski, and Dembele, things really opened up, and Cadiz really did have to play more on the front foot, which we actually saw in that second half. In terms of our stats for today, the scorers were Frankie de Jong, Lewandowski, Fati, and Dembele. It was a clean sheet as well, which is yet another clean sheet for this Barcelona defense, which is going to be crucial. We dominated all the stats as we saw from Barca Buzz, which was via FootMob. Really dominant performance from Barcelona. Overall, I think it was a good performance from Barcelona. Once again, I'm reiterating this point. The result was not the main thing from today. It was the fact that all these fans ended up getting recovered. But in terms of the result itself, it was a really good result from Barcelona. A really important result as well. Dominant performance. And once again, it was a game where we scored 4 or more goals. It's becoming a constant theme for Barcelona. And maybe we just have to load up that meme again, because it is being, once again, an amazing time for the Xavi and Barcelona side. In the last 5 matches, we've scored 20 and conceded just 2. So really dominant from Barcelona. Amazing performance. And thanks for watching this video. Stay safe, especially on days like this. And as always, Visca el Barça.